The episode starts. After Tsukasa's empire is defeated, the people from the Kingdom of Science carry out a stage play in order to catch the people from Tsukasa's fallen empire up to speed. The stage play, titled The Mysterious Light, shows Senku's journey from the day humanity was petrified until his eventual triumph at discovering the revival fluid and subsequently defeating the empire. The story is narrated by Kohaku, with Senku being played by Chrome, Teiju, and Yuzura playing themselves, Jinro and Kinro playing a tree, and Suika being in charge of special effects. The story goes that a flash of light turns all the people into stones, and Senku was the first person to get out of this state and start using sense to find a cure and restart civilization. The team then state the biggest challenge now is that the Kingdom of Science has to embark on an adventure to discover the source of the petrification on the other side of the world. For this purpose, they will have to construct a large ship to cross the ocean. By telling this story, they were trying to motivate these people so that they can help them in building the ship. Gen then comes on stage and asks people if will they help him, and they all answer yes. Senku, Magma, and Yo come on stage, and Gen asks the three of them to present their ideas for making the ship. Chrome and Akayo wonder why they are having the competition, as Senku will win for sure. Yo had an idea of a simple raft but is very smug about it. But when he sees Magma's idea, he and the villagers are all impressed. Magma's idea was to combine many boats to create a sailing ship. Senku shows them a detailed blueprint of the ship, and everyone is surprised to see that. Chrome and Keisuke wonder how much time it will take to build such a ship. Senku points out to the buff villagers, stating that now they have the power of science combined with strength. They start working on the ship, but there is one issue, and that is they will need a capable person to captain it. Senku goes to meet a girl, Minami, who worked at his enemy's side. She was a journalist before the fall of civilization, and he asks her that he need to revive a captain who is amazing at the job and has a lot of skills. She takes them to an island that used to be Nanami Academy that teaches sailing and mentions Ryusui Nanami. They find him petrified there, and she says that they do not want him. Senku asks her to explain, and she says that Nanami Academy was owned by the powerful Nanami conglomerate, and Ryusui is the heir to Nanami conglomerate. He started learning sailing from an early age and was an expert, but he was arrogant and personality-wise a bad choice for them. They start to contemplate whether to revive Ryusui or not. They had not yet decided, but Senku pours the revival fluid on him, stating skill comes first. After being revived, he thanks the team. He snaps with his right hand looking for his butler so he can pay the team, but then deduces what is happening and thank them again. He sees this as an opportunity to have it all, and Minami gives him some clothes. They take him back, and Gen questions his abilities. He showcases his skills by forecasting the upcoming rainstorm, leading to the people saving their hard work which would have been lost otherwise. They discuss the ship, and he comments that the timber he is working with is not enough for the sailboat. Senku tell him it will be a motor sail combo ship, and Ryusui smile at the fact that he was testing him. Ryusui complains that the coal fuel they are using will not get them across the world, and Senku decides to dig for oil. Gen is surprised as to how is it possible, as they are in Japan. Where will they find the oil? Senku tells him of an old mining rig on the Sagara oil field near Mount Fuji that was closed due to profitability issues, but it is still active and they can dig for oil there. Chrome happily proclaims that he is ready to head out. The new Chrome Expedition Team, a three-person team consisting of Akayo, Chrome, and Kohaku, is formed to look for the oil. They are selected for their specialty. Kohaku selected because of her best eyes, and Akayo selected for his best ears, and together they make the best expedition team. When the expedition team leave, Raiysu makes a demand that he will help them get to the other side of the world and is playing a crucial role in their aim, and he should be given the rights to and gets complete ownership of the oil rig that they will find. Gen calls him out on that, and Ryusui say that he will not help them otherwise. Senku knows that he is the only one with the skill needed and agrees to his condition. And the next thing he does is launch his own currency called Drago, as they will need it to buy oil from him. Others are surprised to see his actions. Yo asks what he will do with the currency, as he is the only one who possesses it, and he shows him a small market operating next to them. There are a lot of stalls that sell things in consideration to Drago, as they will need it to buy oil. Drago bills depict a large, Japanese-style dragon facing left, with a long looping body and two visible legs near the front. Overnight, an economy of work and goods develops, a market that is manipulated by Senku and Gen for all it's worth. Yo also takes some of the currency from Ryusuke and goes to the market to buy things. The three-person team, consisting of Akayo, Chrome, and Kohaku, goes to look for the oil field. The area is different than Senku's map. He deduced that Mount Fuji erupted, which caused this change in the landscape, as his map was very old. Ryusui's currency, the Drago, has its value backed by oil from the Sagara oil field, which Senku promised to find and hand ownership to Ryusui in exchange for his services. However, the landscape of Japan has been rendered unrecognizable by the land's volcanism over thousands of years, and the kingdom is unable to orient itself to locate the oil field. Senku thinks that now they will have to make a new map. Sukiya says it would have been nice if they could ride the birds, that way they could watch everything from above, and this gives Senku an idea. He tells everyone they will fly. People get shocked by hearing this and wonder how they will do it. Senku plans to make hot air balloons to survey the area from above and make a new map. The first hot air balloon was made out of hemp, and Senku asks his fellow to collect hemp. They will use the hemp to make a thread, then make cloth from the thread, and then a hot air balloon. Jen is very smart and he manipulates you and other in helping. Initially, as they hadn't found oil yet, the currency was backed by the trust that Senku would be able to find some. He reasoned that if they will not find oil, the money that they collected will have no value and will mean nothing more than a piece of paper. This gets them to help out and make the thread. Senku goes to Yuzuriha Ogawa, who is an expert in sewing, and asks her for help to make the hot air balloons, and he will make any tool for her that she may require. She helps him and asks him to make a loom for her. Senku and Keisuke design a semi-automatic loom for her. She starts working on it and makes cloth. Everyone gets tired and Jen announces a reward worth 10,000, and everyone gets motivated once again. Senku asks Jen how will they get 1,000 Drago, and Jen say he will get Yuzuriyu to make fashion out of this cloth and sell it for cash. They will use the cash to give rewards and also buy oil. Yuzuriha becomes a fashion designer, and they even have a fashion show and make a lot of money. Now to make the hot air balloon, Yuzuriha asks how much cloth they need, and Senku does the calculations in his head and tells her they make a hot air balloon, but now they need a person to steer it. They debate as to who will accompany Senku. Jen plays a game with cards, and the one who will select a joker will be selected. Ryusui tries but fails as Jen wins. Ryusui buys the ticket from Jen, and Chrome comes there and says he will draw as well. Chrome draws a joker and wins, and is selected to accompany Senku and Ryusui. They get into the balloon, and once at the top, Chrome is fascinated to see the rising sun. Senku explains the time difference created by height. Chrome asks where they are headed and learn that they are going to Ishigami village. He says it takes 2 days by foot to get there, but by balloon, they get there in 2 hours. Chrome asks that the flow of wind is in opposite directions and how they are moving in the opposite direction, and Ryusui explains to him about whirlpools and atmospheric pressure which help balloon move. A storm comes and they get inside it. Senku set out the flames to lose altitude, but to no avail. Chrome comes up with idea that instead of going down they can lift up the balloon and pass over the storm. Other two are impressed with his idea and agree to the idea. Chrome starts to put coal in the furnace, but Senku says he will use a different, stronger fuel. He is referring to the bottle of revival fluid that they have, as revival fluid is made out of nitric acid and other highly flammable chemicals. Unfortunately, it is their last bottle. Senku throws it in and triggers a reaction that creates too much steam and lifts the balloon out of the storm. Senku almost falls out but holds on. Ryusui throws his hat above, and he asks Chrome to feed it more coal. He does that and further lifts the balloon as it tears through the clouds and gets free. They start to approach Ishigami village. They are being watched by Kuhako, and she wonders how they got there so fast. They get there and talk to her, and they say this is the power of science. Later, Akayo asks Jen why he asked Yo, Magma, and Senku to draw a blueprint for the boat when he was sure that Senku will provide the best one. He saw it was to show people that Senku is the best for them and create faith in him. That's why he wanted a relative point to compare it to that. That's why he made others draw the ship's blueprints so they can compare it to Senku's. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos. Stay safe and keep watching.